Hey everyone and welcome to the club. Today I'm going to be showing you how to draw Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. Now we're going to get started in the center of our page with the eyes. So let's start on the left side with the upper eyelid. When we start on the outside, we're going to draw a curve that comes in and then down. Now let's leave a gap in the center and draw the same thing on the right. So we're going to line up the inside of the eyelid, we're going to curve up and then out. Let's curl up the inside of the eyelid. Starting from the left, we're going to curve in and then pull that up. Go to the right side and do the same thing. Now we're going to tuck the eyes in underneath the eyelid. So starting on the left, we're going to step in to create an overlap. We're going to draw a half circle. It comes down. Now we're going to pull that up towards the inside of the eyelid. Let's do the same thing on the right. Start from the inside, curve down, and then up. In the center of each eye, we're going to draw a small circle filled in black for the pupil. So we'll start on the left. Now we're going to line this up on the right side. Now we're going to move to the center and draw the nose. So we're going to step down, start with the bottom edge of the nose. Starting from the left, we'll curve down, then back up. Now let's add in the nostril. From the left side, I'm going to step down and curl around, almost like drawing a C. And then on the right, we're going to go in the opposite direction. Now let's move up to the top of the nose and add the nose bridge. We're going to curve up and then down. From the side of the nostril, we're going to add two curves coming out. Starting on top of the left nostril, we're going to curve out and then down. We'll do the same thing on the right. Now we're going to move down and draw in the mouth. Underneath the line here, we're going to step down, draw a curve going up in the middle, then back down on the right. Now we're going to step down, draw a straight line going across for the lower lip. Okay, so now that we've drawn the face, let's work our way around the side of the head. From the left eye, we're going to step out, start with a curve, coming down and in towards the chin. Now I'm going to work my way back up towards the right side. We're going to go out and then up beside the right eye. Now let's draw on the top of the head. Starting from the left side, we're going to curve out. Now we're going to pull that in towards the top of the head. I'm going to round this out and then pull that back down on the right side. Now let's add the ears on the side of the head. From the top of the cheek on the left, we're going to step up, we're going to curve up, round out the ear, and then pull that in behind the head. Let's do the same thing on the right. Curving up, rounding out the ear, and then pulling that in. Let's draw the inside of the ear. From the top of the cheek, we're going to curve up and out with a short curve on both sides. Now we're going to go in and add some simplified markings around the face. Starting on the left side of the eye, curve down and then in. Start aiming towards the nose. Do the same thing on the right. Starting on the side of the eye, curve down and then in. And then from the inside of the line, we're going to curve out and down just on the outside of the mouth. Same thing on the right. Now I just want to taper this back up. On the left side, I'm going to curve up and out to right about there. Do the same thing on the right. We're going to add one more point. Curve out and down with a short line. Now back on the left side, I'm just going to curve around the eye and then up. Going out and then up just on the side of the eye. Now let's add the markings on top of the left eye. Starting right up in here, curve up and then out. We're going to taper this back down with a short curve. Now I'm going to go out and up in the opposite direction. Go out and I'm going to pull this up to the top. Now again, we're going to taper this back out and then down. Let's add one more point. Curving out and up. Now I'm going to pull this down on top of the eyelid. Going out and then down. Now the marking on the right goes up towards the top of the head. So we start on the inside of the eye, curve up and out. Now I'm going to curve this in the opposite direction up towards the top of the head. Curving around and then back in. Now let's curve this back down towards the eye. Curving out. Just going to pull that in just up on top of the right eye. Let's add one more point. Curving out and up. Now I'm going to pull this down towards the outside of the eye. Now we're going to move down and draw on the sides of the body. on the left side, just underneath the head, we're gonna curve out and then down towards the left hip. Let's move over towards the right, curve out and then down towards the same height. We're gonna connect these 2 points with a curve for the bottom of the belt. Curving down and then back up. Let's step up and draw that same curve going across. Let's add a belt buckle, leaving a gap in the center. On the left side, we're gonna draw one line coming down, and we'll do the same thing on the right side. Now let's add some simple markings on the body. Starting just on the left side, we're gonna curve up and out towards the left. Now we're gonna swoop over towards the right. We're gonna curve down and then back up. Now from the right side, I just want to curve back over towards the left and then curl it in towards the center. So we're going to taper this, going up, and then pull that in towards the middle. And then from here, we're going to curve out again, curve out, round it out, and then pull that in. From the top, I just want to curve around and then back down, go around. I'm going to pull that back in, and then we'll taper it back out towards the side of the body. Let's add an opening along the side, starting at the top of the belt, curve up and in, and then we'll taper it back out towards the side of the body. Now let's move over to the right side. From this point, we'll go over towards the right, curve around, and then in towards the center. Now from here, I just want to curve down and then out. Now we're going to hook this around towards the side of the body, coming in and then back out. Now from the top, we're going to curve this out and then down. I'm going to pull this up underneath the head, going up and then in. Now we're going to continue working down with the legs. In the center, we're going to step down, draw a curve from left to right, going up and then down. Leaving a gap in the center, I'm going to go over to the left side. I'm going to curve out and then down towards the left heel. Move over towards the right, curve out and then down towards the right heel. Now let's round out the bottom of the feet. From the left heel, I'm going to curve down and then up towards the toe. We'll do that on both sides. Now we're going to round out the top of the foot. Starting from the left toe, I'm going to curve up and then down, aiming towards the heel, but we're not going to go all the way. We're going to stop right about there. Let's do the same thing on the right. Curving up and then down. Now let's move back up towards the hip and round out the side of the leg. Starting from the left hip, we're going to curve out, down, and then in towards the top of the foot. Now I'm going to move back down and thicken up the sole. We're going to take this curve, stepping up. I'm just going to draw that same curve going across. Now we're going to add the edge of the boot, about halfway up the leg. Starting on the left, we're going to curve down and then up. Do the same thing on the right side. Now let's add 2 more curves just below it. Stepping down, it's going to follow that same curve. And then we'll do the same thing on the right side. Now I'm going to draw an angled line from the hip, coming down and in on both sides. Now from the left side, I just want to follow the same curve of the leg, coming out and then down towards the edge of the boot cuff. And then we're going to add a strap. From the inside of the leg, I'm going to curve out and up just below that point. I'm going to step down, draw that same curve coming down and in. Do the same thing on the right. Curving up and out, step over, and draw that same curve. Let's add the buckles across the boot. On the inside of the leg, I'm going to draw a C shape, curving around the top strap. Do the same thing on the bottom. Now we're going to flip that over on the right side, going the opposite direction. Now on the outside of the strap, we're going to draw 2 straight lines coming down. One on the outside, and then one on the inside. Now let's move back up and draw in the arms. We're going to have the arms stretched out, holding 2 knives. So underneath the head, we're going to step up, curve out, and then down towards the elbow. Now back on the left side, let's draw on the forearm, curving down and then across towards the wrist. Now back on the left side, we're going to curl around the thumb. Starting from the wrist, we're going to curve up, round out the edge of the thumb, come down. Now right here we're going to round out the tip of the thumb and go up. Now we're going to add the palm, curve down and then in. Let's do the same thing on the right. Starting from the wrist, we'll curve up, down, we'll round out the thumb and then pull that back up. Let's add the palm, curving down and then in. Now we're going to stack 3 fingers in behind the thumb. So starting on the side of the thumb, we draw a half oval, going out and then back in. Let's add another finger. Starting at the bottom of this finger, curve out, round it out at the bottom, and then up underneath the thumb. We'll do that one more time. Let's do the same thing over on the right. Start with that small half circle for the first finger. Now at the bottom, we're going to curve around and then up underneath the thumb. And then we'll do that one more time. Now we're going to add the bottom of the handle underneath this finger. So we're going to draw 2 straight lines coming down. Close off the bottom with a curve from left to right, going down and up. Do the same thing on the right. Start with the 2 lines and then round out the bottom. Now we're going to draw on the top of the handle. We're going to line this up from the bottom of the handle up towards the thumb. Start with a straight line going up. We'll go across just on the outside of the fingers. Now I just want to curve this in and down behind the finger. Let's do the same thing on the right side. So lining this up above the thumb, go up, and go across just outside of the line of the fingers. Curve this in and then down. Now let's add in the blades. From the top corner of the handle, we're going to step out, start by going straight up, and we're going to curve that in. Do the same thing on the right. Start by going straight up and then bending that in. Now back over towards the left side. I'm going to taper this coming out and then down, aiming towards the outside point. Come down. We're going to leave a gap along the bottom. Now I'm just going to angle this down and in on top of the handle. Do the same thing on the right. Start at the top, curve out, down, aiming towards that outside point. We'll angle that down and then in. Now let's draw in the lower part of the arm. From the finger, we're going to step down underneath the handle, curve across and up. Now we're going to do an overlap. I'm going to step down, curve down, and up in behind the body. Let's do the same thing on the right. From the finger, we'll step down in behind the handle, curve down and up. Now we're going to step down to create an overlap, curve down, and then up in behind the body. Now we'll finish this off with the markings across the arm. We're going to start on the side of the body. We're going to step up, curve up, and then out towards the outside of the arm. Now let's add a point. Stepping down, curve in, and then down. Now we're going to taper that back up and then out. Now let's move down towards the bottom of the forearm. Starting out here, we're going to curve up and then out, and then taper that back down towards the bottom of the arm. Now let's move over to the left side. Starting on the side of the arm, we're going to curve up and then in. And then we'll taper that back down and out towards the outside of the arm. Let's go down towards the elbow. We're going to step out, curve up, and then in. And then we'll pull that back in behind the body. Let's add one more marking across the forearm. Starting up here, we're going to curve in and then back out. Now we're going to taper that back up towards the top of the forearm. And that's pretty much it. There we have it. There's Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send me your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.